Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you're at, ladies and gents. I am Kurojiri Isagami, your resident tinker and Medarotter, and this is the Medarot News Network, bringing you all the latest developments and happenings with our favorite pet fighting robot series. Well, the countdown is now, ladies and gentlemen. We are under 72 hours before the momentous day of the anniversary of Medarot on November 28th. And alongside that, the long-awaited announcement of this mysterious reveal they've been teasing for quite some time now, with almost no hints, allusions, or even outright statements of what it could be, aside from some very, very subtle ideas. And even then, are still very hard to guess or even guesstimate what they could be, so only time will tell. Now, as far as Medarot S is concerned, though, things do kind of go back to a business as per usual, kind of with this week, but in a rather strange way that none of us really even saw coming. As you see here, we're going to be kind of stepping into the rather strange installment of the Medarot series with a introduction and debut of a third model from the legendary or infamous, depending on how you view it, Medarot game Shingata, with its final boss Duo Kaiser. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into what was officially announced for this week, starting with the banners and who to expect. Now, as figured, with the introduction of Duo Kaiser at WEA-0E, she has a kit of Break, Hyper Missile, Laser, Multi-Legs, and Auto Charge. If you've heard that combination before, well, you actually have. That is basically the exact same kit, one-to-one, as a God Emperor, one of the original WEA types that was introduced in Medarot 2. But given that Shingata was basically designed to be a retelling of the original Medarot with the Game Boy engine, that only makes sense that there would be a number of similarities. But as you see here, with the introduction of Duo Kaiser, we do finally have the ability to make a trio team based around Shingata Medarot. My question would ultimately be why, but it's still a very exciting model all the same, and a very powerful kit at its disposal for what she brings to the table. But Duo Kaiser is most certainly not coming alone either, as with her boosted raids, we are also going to be seeing some boosted raids for both WEA-0 Beastmaster at Press, Napalm, Hyper Beam, Multi-Legs, and Trigger Happy, and of course the XP of this model, WEA-01 God Emperor, with Break, Hyper Missile, Laser, Multi-Legs, and Auto Charge. So as you see, weapons of mass destruction are going to be most certainly running rampant this week as far as bots that can be found and bots that can be collected and worked on. Now, one thing to bear in mind though is they did not state that Duo Kaiser was going to be a limited run or collaboration model. So once her banner does close, she will be added to the a list of pickups that will come and go most likely, and so there's not going to necessarily be as much of a priority towards collecting her if she doesn't really tickle your fancy. Rather, just as a friendly reminder of the collaborations that are going to be closing or will be closing in the next week or so, such as with anime versions of Smilodon and Warbonnet, which still have one more week before they close. So if those models tickle your fancy, this might be your opportunity to kind of collect some extra resources before their banners close, because they are considered collaboration. Now, for the fierce battles we have going on this week, it's going to be a pretty user-friendly lot with the models that we can collect and farm for this week. Starting that lineup on this top row, we have KAP-01 Kappa Lord with Beam, Double Anti-C, C-Legs, and Forester. We have MDK-0 Hemadacker with Repair, Double Wave, C-Legs, and Adapter. And we also have JEL-0 Pururun Jelly with Triple Missile, Pink Legs, and Fortress. On this bottom row, we have CLB-02 Side Move with Hammer, Conceal, Guard, Sea Legs, and Explorer. HMS-0 Jungarian with Radar Sight, Double Gatling, Float Legs, and Mascot. And we have KBT-11 Sagehorn with Triple Sword, Biped Legs, and Generator. So honestly, we have a lot of really good bots that are going to be available this week for farming, and very minimal effort required for doing so as well. Ultimately, all have at least one skill that can be put to very good use across the board, especially if you are still very early on in your career as a Medarotter. Just kind of going through the list here briefly. Kappa Lord for Sea Legs with Mastery on Forest Terrain is always really nice as well, and for your anti-sea coverage. Hemadacker for Sea Legs with Adapter means she's good on basically any terrain, much like a Float Leg might. Pururun Jelly mostly for tank legs with Fortress for even better damage reduction than before. Side Move for Sea Legs with Explorer gives better terrain compatibility as well. Jungarian mostly for the Float Legs and Mascot for the debuff that it does apply. And of course, Sagehorn for triple sword and non-heavy means you can use him basically anywhere very freely. So ultimately, you could pick any one of these 6 spots and really not go wrong with the skills that can be brought to the table with any of them. Ultimately, though, I would have to give MVP of the week to Sagehorn, primarily for the fact that because it is a basic sword, no drawback, no weakness, it's a very balanced and user-friendly part, it's something that you can use very easily anywhere, as long as you're able to, of course, raise it from lower ranks up to the higher ones. Now, granted, it will be just a little more expensive to do so, since it is starting at a Fierce Battle and a Rank 1 part, but if you choose to do so, it is still something you can put to very good use on any team that you need a conventional melee part on. Now, with the introduction of Duo Kaiser, though, we do also have a new Super Invasion that will be going live for her this coming week as well. Most likely going to follow the same vein as a lot of the previous WEA types, such as, say, God Emperor or Beastmaster. But I'm gonna kind of take a friendly wager here and say that I have a very strong suspicion that ahead of this one, they're probably also going to be banning having no setup parts allowed and no mailbots allowed, because I can most certainly guarantee that if those rules are not in there, anyone that did collect Smilodon A from last week, which I, of course, am one of them, will probably be absolutely cheesing this challenge. But it's going to be hard to say until the challenge does officially go live this Thursday, which, as a friendly reminder, is also Medarot Day. So it's going to be a very exciting Thursday all the same for just a handful of reasons, and these are just a few of them. But as we go forward with a lot of the other stuff that was announced for this week, for the Medarot Day Preamble event, I'm simply going to call it, we have a handful of rather iconic medals that a lot of OG players may actually recognize almost immediately, and a new face from the days of Medarot 1 that has only seen the realm of 3D once, back in the year 1999. So it's going to be a pretty exciting week all the same. For this week, for this week's event, we can earn the Exclamation Medal, which has a mastery in shooting, melee, and defense. Shooting, support, and defense with multi-float and sea leg mastery. We can also earn the Question Medal with a mastery in melee, shooting, and defense, and leg masteries of multi, tank, and float. So just between those two, Hunter and Sniper nature also means they're going to be very good charge-reliant medals, ones that you really can't go wrong with using basically anywhere. We can also earn RIC-0 Mad Muscle, a model from the very early days of Medarot 1, with a kit of Trap Clear, Break, Press, Tank Legs, and Trap Buster. And of course, we can also earn this month's gacha tickets for some extra shots at the highlighted models in PvP. So, like I said, it's going to be a very exciting week as far as medals and bots are concerned, especially since a lot of people actually have been asking to see a lot of these older models, such as Mad Muscle, for a while. So it's always nice to see him get his own model, or at least a freshened up model, I should say, finally, with a new kit ready to go and just kind of make his mark on the field. This week's event, though, will be ticket-based, so bonuses will stack per part equipped across the team, but it's going to be a relatively easy event in my honest opinion, as most likely they're trying to keep things on the down low, just so they can kind of not overshadow Medarot Day in this mysterious announcement that they've been keeping close to their chest. For the event itself, it will be ticket-based, like I said. For the red ticket bonuses, as you see here, God Emperor, Beastmaster, Sadashina Hime, and of course, Gato Arbol will be spearheading the red ticket bonus at a +3 per part each, and a +1 for any of the 6 Fierce Battles listed this week. For the Medarotter bonuses, I was not able to fit another slide in here because it was actually kind of long, but basically a lot of the SR Medarotters, as you see here, Koishimaru, Azuma, Salt, Tenma, and Kazumi will give you a +3 of the red ticket bonuses respectively. And the R rank and the N rank, which actually features about 2 or 3 more of the conventional pro tags, such as Ikki Tenryo, will give you a +2 or a +1 respectively for R or N rank. For the gold ticket bonuses, we'll be seeing a +3 for Duo Kaiser and a +1 for any part of Mad Muscle equipped respectively. For the gold ticket bonus for the Medarotters, it's going to be a lot easier as well with the SR versions of Arase, Hikaru, and Ikki, like I said. So, since all these Medarotters are actually available in the permanent banner, I really don't think anyone's going to have a lot of trouble at least collecting on the gold ticket bonuses this round. It will be kind of hard to say if we're going to be seeing a week 2 bonus going into the tail end of November, starting of December. So only time will tell, because this month has been kind of funny with the advent leading up to Medarot Day. But continuing on the topic of Medarot Day, as a friendly reminder, they will be hosting a very specialized coverage stream for whatever this very big, mysterious announcement will be on Medarot Day. GST time conversion will be about 1900 hours, or if you're on Eastern time like I am, that'll be about 5 in the morning. So be prepared if you guys are willing to camp out for the night or just take a power nap. To make sure you don't miss it, because I'm going to try my best to keep my eye on that coverage and try to report on it as early as I can once it does go live. It will be a brand new endeavor reported by Producer San last year that is not related to Medarot S at all, which means it's gonna sport at least one brand new face, probably a few dozen if I'm being completely honest. But it's gonna be really nice to see what this brand new endeavor is. It's been in development for approximately 4 years at my count, so it's been cooking for quite some time. And according to Mr. Producer, it also will, quote-unquote, far exceed expectations. So it's going to be really hard to kind of figure out what this is because, like I said, they've kept their hand incredibly close to their chest. No hints, teasers, or allusions whatsoever, aside from these very small driblets every now and then. And it's been driving us absolutely bonkers, if I'm being honest with you. I held a poll, and I'm still kind of holding it leading up to Medarot Day with what we could see. The common votes right now are for a brand new game, new anime, or even a new manga, but again, hard to tell until the day of. One other note is if you do choose to skip the regular coverage, I will be covering on my channel as well with a very special emergency stream. The set time for that one's a little hard to tell. I'm trying to shoot for between 9 a.m. and noon my time, Eastern time. So it's going to be relatively close to, or not too long after the official announcement does go live. And I will be joined by a very special guest host with me, my dear friend Ruben, who was with me for last year's Medarot Day coverage as well. So it's going to be very exciting as we see what this mysterious reveal will be, and just what lies ahead for the future of Medarot. As far as community stuff is concerned, stepping away from Medarot S stuff for a moment, we are still always looking for translators to assist us with any current projects or endeavors. Right now, with Medarot 4, it's kind of stagnating just a little bit, but mostly because we don't have the manpower to do so. So if you are knowledgeable in coding, cleaning, Japanese, or have some time on your hands, or if you know somebody that might, or even want to help with the manga translation of Reloaded Sai, or even the original Medarot manga as well, feel free to join our Discord, ask around, and we're most certainly happy to get you in touch with the right people. Additionally, if you do not know anybody that could help, or if you're not able to help yourself, as a friendly reminder, I do have a link to Variant's crowdfunding in the description below as well. So you can of course donate and crowdfund to the cause so we can help commission some of those extra lines of code being translated. Because there is quite a bit of stuff to translate and clean, and the more people or assistance we have, the faster we can get to it. For those that tuned into my What is Medarot stream about a week ago, we talked about my conversation with Miss Hirano Kana, the story writer from Medarot. She did make it very clear that Medarot 4 was her favorite game that she actually wrote the story for. So I am excited to see just what exactly that might be, but we really can't without help being able to do so. So again, if you know somebody who can help, or if you'd like to help, join us on our Discord, ask around, or even reach out to me and we can get you in touch with the right people. One final reminder for the Ori Meta contest that has been ongoing in our Project Rising Beetle server up until last week. There is no announcement of the winner in today's stream, but I will be announcing the winners in the special coverage of the Medarot Day stream 2 days from now. So be sure you tune in at the very least for that with my dear friend Ruben, as we announce the runners-up and the winner of the Ori Meta contest with the theme of role-playing game. Lots of very unique designs that were dropped in last second as the timer went down. So I'm very excited to be able to reveal to you guys just the winners and just kind of showcase and talk about all the designs as a whole as we lead up to the winners. I'm very excited for that, and I'm hoping that we're gonna be hosting more contests as well going into 2025, even if the rewards are just specialized and hand-drawn concept sheets, which I'm still very excited about all the same. One final note before I do wrap us up, though, is a friendly reminder that on the topic of art, I am always open for commissions. So if you are looking for any art, live 2D models for VTubing ready to rig, 3D models with all the works, or standard 2D art of varying degrees of complexity and detail, or even emotes, I can do all that as well. Feel free to reach out to me on Discord or on Twitter or even on Blue Sky as well if you're on there and abandoned the original Blue app. So feel free to reach out on there, ask about it. We can most certainly try to make something happen. But with all that being said, that does basically cover everything for this week's episode, so ultimately not a whole lot of new stuff per se or anything really big or exciting, primarily because they're most likely trying to keep things on the down low in light of Medarot Day in 2 days. So I'm most likely gonna it's most likely gonna stay this way for the next, I'd say, about week and a half or so, probably going into December as well, as we prepare to wrap up 2024 and just kind of see what this mysterious announcement is. That being said, if you'd like to know more, you can follow us below on Facebook at the Medarot News Network page, or the Metabots Forever community on there that I do also manage, which currently is swelling over 40,000 members and still growing by the day. And I'm so proud of how far and just how powerful that community has grown and how large it's grown in the last year alone, being completely honest. You can also join us on Discord in the link provided and in the comments below to keep an even closer ear to the ground on the action. This includes any new links to merchandise, fan art, contests, my weekly episodes, or anything else of the like. The Discord server is the first place you're going to hear it before it goes anywhere else on the net. And you can also reach out to me personally on Twitter or on Blue Sky at IsagamIKura. So, if you have any questions, comments, feedback, suggestions, or would love just to reach out or even commission me for something, or even possibly set up a collaboration between you and I, whether that means having you here on the channel with me or me stopping in on yours. My DMs are always open for that very reason, and I probably will not be closing them anytime soon for that same reason. Lastly, as we prepare to celebrate Medarot Day, make sure you follow and support the original sources as well. The original Medarot page at Medarotcha and the dedicated Medarot S page at Medarot S on Twitter. So be sure, if you want to get your news straight from the source, those are the places that you go. Because when I get my coverage, that is the first place that I skim and get from my information, and they always stay in the know with anything to do with the game or the series as a whole. Contests, acrylics, their web store page for any physical merch, and Medarot S stuff, or anything else of the like. That's the first place you're going to hear it before it goes anywhere else on the net. But with that being said, as always, I do appreciate you all for stopping in, just as you always do. And until next time, this is your host, Kura Isagami of the Medarot News Network, signing out.